Hello and welcome from Budapest. This is Hungary Reports, kicking off Public Media M1's foreign language news hour. I'm Árpád Szőci with the latest from Hungary and the Carpathian Basin. Thanks for joining us. Hungary's Foreign Affairs and Trade Minister has defended NATO at a NATO foreign ministers meeting in Brussels. Péter Szijjártó said that members must demonstrate unity in the organization and not allow other powers to break it. Recently, French President Emmanuel Macron had called NATO brain dead and said he didn't think there was any unity between Europe and the U.S. However, Hungarian Foreign Minister Szijjártó said he believes in a strong and united NATO, which is necessary for member states so that they can face serious challenges, such as combating terrorism.
We consider NATO to be the world's most successful defense alliance, and we will do everything in the future so that NATO will continue strengthening, because the world is constantly changing and challenges are becoming increasingly serious. Some of us, two to be exact, mentioned, beside terrorism, the challenges of mass migration. We represent the standpoint that mass migration and terrorism are closely interrelated.
There is no place in Parliament for those who want to be obnoxious, obscene and disruptive. That's what the head of the government-led Fidesz caucus said in Parliament, where legislation on parliamentary conduct is being debated on. The government-led parties believe you don't necessarily need new laws, but you should make stricter penalties to make them more effective. Opposition parties believe this is all an attempt to shut them up.
In December last year, the opposition tried to block the beginning of the parliamentary session in every way it could. They admittedly wanted to stop Parliament from being able to vote on modifications of the Labour Code. And footage from October this year shows Ákos Hatházi, former member of the LMP, now an independent MP, holding up a placard with obscene language on it in the meeting room. Since 1990, it had never happened in any political cycle that the work of Parliament was hindered. The spokesperson of Fidesz said on Wednesday in Parliament, in the debate about the laws governing how Parliament functions and on stricter disciplinary rules for MPs violating rules of conduct at parliamentary sessions. Máté Kocsis, who is one of the proposers of the new law, said, obscenity, scandalous actions and disorder have no place in Parliament. Even those parliamentary debates, which are heated, cannot give an opportunity for the Parliament's legitimate work to be impeded, the faction leader said. According to the faction leader of Jobbik, Péter Jakab, the government parties are using the threat of expulsion. These planned restrictions would in many cases make the work of MPs impossible. This is how Bertalan Tóth, faction leader of the Socialist Party MSZP, reacted to the proposal. The deputy faction leader of DK, Gergely Arató, thinks the purpose is to intimidate the opposition. And according to the faction leader of LMP, the proposal is built on a lie. As László Keresztes put it, representing the national interest is more important than the Parliament's rules of procedure. A member of the governing party KDNP, Imre Veikei, said that previous sanctions had not fulfilled hopes. That's why there is need for even stricter sanctions.
Budapest authorities will introduce a traffic tax for diesel-powered vehicles. Other measures will also be taken to further cut down the number of diesel vehicles driven in the Hungarian capital. That's what one of the deputy mayors of Budapest said. Diesel fuel emissions are more harmful than conventional fuel, and some Western European cities have tried similar things. However, in Germany, it greatly upset many diesel car owners. About 30% of vehicles in Hungary are indeed diesel-powered.
A traffic tax will be introduced. This is what the online portal Mondinet claimed, referring to information from a commercial TV station. The deputy mayor of Budapest for Climate and Development had said that measures to reduce the number of diesel cars in Budapest will be introduced. He said we would like cars to only be able to access the city center after paying a fee. The mayor of Budapest, Gergely Karácsony, has talked about his plan earlier, namely that he would partially prohibit diesel cars from entering the city center of Budapest and would establish so-called low harmful emission zones. The fact that they've announced a climate crisis means I soon won't be able to go home with my 15-year-old diesel car? Well, this is what will happen sooner or later. It will affect hundreds of thousands. Yes, certainly. This means pollutant vehicles, diesel cars mainly, would not be allowed to enter certain parts of the capital. The mayor of Budapest said that car owners will eventually have to accept this anyway. Does someone dare to undertake taking away the cars of their owners and not giving them any replacement? Running a city, a country involves conflicts, where we have to prioritize among different values. This measure could well affect hundreds of thousands of car owners in Budapest and its surroundings, finding themselves being excluded from the capital.
And the Hungarian government says it doesn't support a traffic tax, which had also been introduced in the early 2000s when Gábor Demszky was Budapest mayor. It also said that if current mayor Gergely Karácsony really does want to introduce that, then it should be first debated in city council and then in parliament. She says she's done everything she could so that she'll perform well. That's what Hungary's Miss World candidate told public media's M1 TV channel. Krisztina Nagypál said there will be more than 100 competitors at the Miss World competition in London, and she would love to make it to the top 20. Voting for her on the internet could also make a difference.
Hungary's beauty, as she's officially called, flew on Wednesday to London to take part in the Miss World competition. She said that she feels both mentally and physically well prepared. I'm very excited, but at the same time also quite scared. In any case, I can hardly wait getting to know the other competitors and their cultures. I'm curious about what will happen this month, what it will be like, and I think I've given everything I could. I practiced and trained a lot. Nagypál Krisztina said. Krisztina Nagypál won the Hungary's beauty competition in June. At the Miss World in Britain, she'll go up against 105 other competitors. Her stylist thinks she could go far. This year, I really felt that Krisztina could well be among the finalists. That's what those in the domestic fashion scene feel as well, who have been providing her outfits for the competition, her stylist said. You can also help out Nagypál by voting for her on her Miss World Hungary social media pages. The competitor with the most online votes also advances to the top 20 round at the competition.
And the final there takes place on Saturday, December 14th. The Hungary 365 photo competition has been launched to show the best of the country and what it has to offer. It continues until the end of the month, during which you can vote for your favorite photos online. The winners in the 3 categories of nature, heritage buildings, and communal life will then be announced on December 1st, and they will each receive 1 million forints. That's about 3,000 euros. More than 17,000 photos were submitted to the jury, who picked the very best ones for viewers to judge. And you can check them all out on the website you see on your screen.
On the website fotopályázat.magyarország.hu, you can vote in the 3 categories: nature, communal life and heritage buildings. We encourage everyone to vote, give your reasons why you made your choices, and pick the best pictures of Hungary.
The World Science Forum has kicked off in Budapest and will continue until Sunday. Representatives from more than 100 countries are taking part. It opened with a concert at the MUPA Budapest on Wednesday. The forum itself takes place at the Hungarian Academy of Sciences, but in the evening there are many cultural events planned at other venues for the participants. You can also follow many of the forums online by going to worldscienceforum.org. And the House of Mai Mano in Budapest is showing a display of man's best friend in its gallery. A free exhibition has opened on the works of a Finnish photographer. The artist had traveled around Europe for 5 years, learning about the relationship between dog owners and their beloved pets. The innovative part is that she made human-like portraits of the dogs. The photos are on display until the 4th of December. And that's all for now. But don't forget, you can catch Hungary Reports every night after the 11 p.m. Hungarian news and online as always. Please stick around if you can for our German, Russian, and Chinese language news. Thanks very much for watching, and minden jót.